Hello, welcome back to Otter Pop Culture, and today we're going over the person called Orville Peck and his album called Pony. So I came across Orville Peck due to a couple of friends talking about it, and then my partner came around and he's like, have you heard of this person? I listened to some of it, and I listened to the whole album, and it's a really good album. It's really cute. It's very different from what you hear nowadays, and definitely it's also one of the, I like to call, if Johnny Cash and Lana Del Rey had a baby, like it has that like the Western type of sound with his voice and everything. Is like either with a heavy baritone with a very clean like high falsetto, and plus and then it's like the dramatized sadness of it all. So I'm gonna go through each song and talk about them, and there's a lot of songs that are more off further from either lyrically like based or further more for like the production, so I'll make sure to kind of cover them all. So the first song is Dead of Night. This is my very first time I've heard the song, and I really love it. It's one of my favorite songs off the album. He has a great baritone, and he starts off with it too. And this is actually, if you listen to the first verse is pretty much, it's pretty much has that Lana Del Rey kind of sadness and like he wants to ride and kind of thing. Like it has that sound. And then he does that like very slow sound, and finally he does his chorus, and then after that he just shoots into falsetto with the "See the Boys as they walk on by" it's amazing. And then and the song is pretty much about, like, he described it as two hustlers traveling through Nevada desert. And if that doesn't sound like any type of like description of a Lana Del Rey, but you take away the desert in Nevada and add it to like California coast, like it's pretty much the same thing in the best way. And then there's a nice little banjo at the end. If you listen to the whole thing, the very end is like nice little banjo play. It's really nice. The second song is Wind Change, and this one's a really good one too, because it has like it seems like he digs deeper into that Johnny Cash kind of sound, which I love. Definitely in the chorus, it sounds amazing. And then it's a pretty short song. And this song is talking about losing, and like, he's talking about he lost a lover, or he broke up with a lover, and he's pretty much afterwards he's gone cold. He's noticed himself getting colder and colder as a person. So it's a really interesting song. And then number 3 is Turn to Hate. This is a very complicated song, because the way that I try to look up what it meant, because it obviously has a huge meaning to it, but he had a paragraph talking about it, and so I kind of cut it down to describe what it's like. So pretty much it's about the anxiety of being an outsider and not letting the solitude turn into resentment, pretty much. And so what I've got from that, and not wanting to be this, so he embraces the fact that he's an outsider, he's more of a loner, but the consequence of doing that is the fact that you do not get to be understood. You do not really get to be connected with anybody as often as normal people usually do. And he likes it in the same time, but he also notices that it's taking a toll on him, because seeing that everybody else is with somebody makes him want to be with somebody, but he also understands that being a outsider actually benefits him more, So it's a really beautiful song, and the whole song goes through the whole storyline. It's really nice. Number 4 is Buffalo Run, which is one of my favorite songs too. Not because of the song, not because of the lyrics. I didn't really understand the lyrics, but the one thing I love about the song is that it has this weird, it reminds me pretty much of it reminds me of the stampede of a buffalo stampede. It starts off slow and mysterious, and it kind of picks up. The beat picks up. It gets more sporadic and crazy in the best way. It just sounds like a galloping of of like buffalo, you know. It's really nice, and you can totally just see the the canyons and everything. And there's a nice little guitar strumming at the end, and then it's a huge explosion of production. It's amazing. Number 5 is Queen of the Rodeo, which is another song that has great lyrics to it. I love that the song starts slow and then it kind of builds up until the bridge, and it really builds up in that part. And the song is pretty much saying, like, your reign, one thing that he said is like, your reign will be stimulating and dramatic, but very short-lived. And so I think that's a nod to, like, the whole way that, you know, like, rodeos go. Like, once you're on the cow, the bull, I haven't been to a rodeo, but, like, once you're on the cattle, I guess, like, you're on it for a while and you're off immediately, because you're not on it for a while, and it's very dramatic, it's crazy, it's stimulating, you know. And so I think the song kind of matches that, and I think it's really nice. Number 6 is Kansas Remembers Me Now. This one is about, which is something I had to look up because I didn't know about this at all, but this is about the Clutter family murders in 1959. But it's taken off the point of view of so the person one of the people that was part of the murder, one of the murderers was Perry Smith, and it pretty much talks about his, like, by the way, it has a nice little lazy sound to it, which I really love, but it's talking it from his point of view of the murder. And it's also, if you remember, this murder also has been talked about in the Capote movie, which is about Truman Capote's novel, In Cold Blood. So which is also about those murders, and it's pretty much him saying, like, I don't care where we are, like, but I have you on my side, which is his person that he murdered with. I can't remember his name, but yeah, it's a very interesting song, and I've learned a lot because I didn't really know this was an actual thing. I had to look it up and everything. Number 7 is Old River, which I felt like it was is an interlude in a way. But I love the organ sound. The organ sound inside of it was so, like, lower key, but it sounded amazing. Number 8 is Big Sky. So this is a very fun song. So it pretty much talks about his past lovers and their and how they died, or like them dying in the end, each of them dying, but they have different ones. So one of them is, the first verse is about a aloof biker that he's into, and then the second verse is about the abusive boxer that he's into, and then finally the overprotective jailer. And it's perfect Western country sound to it, and I love it. And I love the banjo mixing with the guitar, something I don't really hear as often. It's really, really nice. Number 9 is Roses Are Falling, which is a very dreamy sound. I love it, and it just, like, it sounds like a love song, honestly. It just sounds like a beautiful love song, and I love the gentle guitar that kind of goes through it. It's just so dreamy and so nice and so loving. I love something that does not happen often, that should happen more often, is to talk in the middle of the song. When he's like, hey girl, kind of thing. Like, he said head boy. He's talking about boys, but he's like, and that type of thing. Like, the way in, like, in the 90s, it's like, hey boy, you know, I've been sitting here all day by myself, and I've just been wondering, you know, like, that kind of thing. Like, it's just like, he does that, and he's like, you got me, blah, blah, blah. And he's just like, you don't come across that in a while, and it's amazing. Number 10 is Take You Back, the Iron Hoof Cattle Call. This is very Johnny Cash. The production is amazing. This is an all-around, like, great full song. Like, it's completely full. I can totally hear the song being. I'm hoping that Quentin Tarantino doesn't just make Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and then done. I hope there's more to it, because this song would be perfect for Quentin Tarantino song, like, movies. And I love the whistling at the end, which is more of a Quentin kind of thing too, and I just love it. It's meant to be in a soundtrack. Number 11 is Hope to Die, which is a really beautiful song about wanting his lover back, you know. And I love the vocals. The vocals are amazing. The ending has a little flamenco kind of, like, into it with the explosive, like, production, like the which one was it? Like the Bull Run, like it just has that huge explosion. Like when you thought it was done, there's still more, you know. And this song's pretty much saying like, I want you back. If I don't have you, like what's the point, you know? And finally, number 12 is Nothing Fades Like the Light, which is a perfect ending. It's a very sad ending, and it reminds me of like his version of Nothing Breaks Like a Heart. It's just like he can do all this stuff is happening, all this is world around you may go on, but nothing really fades like the light inside of you. You know, that's just the harshest way to kind of go, you know. I love this album. I love this album. I would listen to this as much as I would listen to Lana Del Rey. If those two do not do a duet or some type of collab album, I would shit myself to do a collab album. I would die. I would die happy. But if they did a duet, if they don't do a duet, I don't know what the point of any of this is, you know? They're meant to do something together, you know? I give this album a 9 out of 10. It's roundedly perfect. It's something you haven't heard in a while. It's definitely going to be an SNL. Like, keep watch of him because he's definitely going to be a guest, musical guest on SNL. I can see it. And he has this little and more story about him is that he has a mask on with fringes on the bottom, and it's really, really cool. Like, I personally think it's kind of hot. Like, I've seen him without his face and he looks okay, but like, that mask and cowboy hat and the whole look on him is like, it's pretty hot. Anyway, so that is it. That is Pony by Orville Peck. Leave a comment below, tell me what you thought. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, tell me why. Don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell for more vids. I have more coming up, and more is coming up, and I'll see you guys in the next video.